Welcome to this week's Performance TV, where we have made a trip up north. Jan, you guys at Prefix do all kinds of really cool stuff here just outside of Detroit, Michigan, that has to do with cars and all kinds of stuff that I can't wait to see. But what's this that has to do with money?
I know, this is really cool. Normally things have wings or wheels involved almost all the time. But if you've ever lost money going through a drive-through window and had your dollars blow away trying to buy that coffee, you're going to love this one.
All right, can't wait to see that. Joe, what do you have for us?
If you like high performance, if you like manufacturing, if you like crazy dreams becoming a reality, you are going to love this show. The folks at Prefix do exactly that, like this Minotaur project you might have seen in the past. They dream it, they do it, manufacturing, all of it behind the scenes, and we get to look inside.
Well, Jan, now we're inside here at Prefix, and I'm seeing all of these studios. Is it okay if I go in and check this out?
No.
So you've got like really special projects going on in here.
Yeah, there's always a lot of crazy stuff going on. It's very, very important. We've got about 24 private and secure studios that are all key carded, because some are very confidential and some are open to the public. But everything here we take pretty seriously.
I'm seeing, all the different, the company names and that type of stuff, and it's just really cool that they're coming to you to work on these projects.
Well, we're real fortunate. I mean, Prefix is known for building the first one, right? If it's a mock-up prototype or a concept vehicle, and it's the first one that's going to either gauge public reaction, it's going to be a test for the engineers to verify the data and did they do it right before things go to hard tooling and a production car shows up at your dealer showroom. So yeah, it's really an interesting world that we live in. Very tight deadlines, very crazy capabilities, but you never know what's coming out of these doors individually.
Well, we talked a little bit about that money stuff, right, to start with.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're going to find out a little bit more about that right now. Let's check in with Joe in Studio B1.
On our visit here to Prefix, we've seen so many cool things and great cars, but this is not a car. We're here with Jason. Jason, tell us about this display.
Well, this was a client came to us wanting a whole experience, all in one package. So from concept, design, and build, all the way to what you see now.
So they had an idea, and you made it a reality.
They had an idea, we bounced ideas back and forth, and the whole idea behind this thing is from front to back. They propose a concept, and we package it.
So it looks like a car, and obviously it has seats like a car.
It has functional seats, just no wheels. So this can be transported to any expo you go to or any major event.
And all your skills and abilities have clearly gone into it. The seats look like something out of a high-end sports car.
Absolutely. So just a quick rundown from design all the way to finish. So CAD group got involved, design group got involved, milling, all the way down to our trim shop, integration of all the electronics and everything. So the seats were done by our trim shop. They asked for high-end seats, so these are completely fabricated in-house.
Well, it looks like someplace I would definitely want to be, and fortunately we have someone from Visa to show us how it works.
The car has become a very significant connected device. And what we found at Visa is that near term, we can make payments simplified in people's everyday commute tasks. What's great about working with Prefix is that we've had the opportunity to help develop demo properties that represent our vision for what those simplified everyday tasks could look like. You're near your favorite Starbucks. Do you want to order your favorite latte, BC? I say yes through voice command. It goes ahead, orders ahead, and pays. And we can do that for gas, for toll, for parking. That point of sale system can happen in the store at the point of sale machine. It can happen on your phone, and now it can happen in your car. We have biometrics for driver authentication, so that we make sure when someone gets in this particular vehicle, only that person can use it for payments, or the other people that person has authorized. The thing is, while we're in your car, we want you focused on driving. So we want you to have that same convenience of point of sale everywhere you need it to be, but not to distract you while you're driving. We're really excited to be working with Prefix on this.
Well, that was pretty cool, and we got to see it first. Now, this Visa display is going to be touring the country at events and shows, so keep an eye out for it. We'll be back with more Performance TV after this.
Performance TV is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Danmar Equipment, from stow to go in just minutes. Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation. And by Prefix Corporation, excellence is expected.
Welcome back to Performance TV as we continue our visit here in Detroit, Michigan at Prefix. And I have been so excited to check out this particular vehicle, Jan, because I've been teased about it when we knew we were going to make our trip up here.
I know.
Tell me a little bit about this vehicle and how you guys got involved in the Navigator project.
I tell you what, the Lincoln Navigator was such a cool project, and I don't get tired of seeing it. Even though this thing has traveled around the world and been at numerous shows, it's been here and back, and it still looks just elegant. And that's exactly what Lincoln was going for. Their design of the new Lincoln Navigator was to be much more sophisticated, much more elegant than the typical SUV in that category. So this is really nails it. It's got it inspired from yachts and sailboats, from everything from the teak wood inside to, believe it or not, it's storm blue paint.
I know
So
the paint is absolutely
gorgeous.
Amazing, which,
Yeah.
you know, you guys do all of that kind of stuff here. You paint as well.
Well, this is a perfect example of Prefix, because everything that you see had to be built for the first time. And it's everything from the wheels being machined to the lights being developed and built,
Right?
to the grille, to the paint, to the unbelievable interior trim. So you can imagine, none of this is going to the store and buying it off the shelf. It's
Right.
all got to be done for the first time.
And it's absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for Joe to show us more.
The Rapid Prototyping Design Studio, where things are 3D printed from nothing. Think about it. A concept is due. There is a deadline. You've got to save time. Well, that's where 3D printing comes in, like this part from a headlight. You saw the Navigator. The headlights are incredible. Well, they were created from nothing. At one point, just CAD data. Now, a real-life part. And boy, does it happen rapidly. Just built up from non-existence into reality. It is incredible what they can do, taking concepts and turning them into actual physical parts. Now, maybe it doesn't have to go 100,000 miles in an actual car, but it will be painted, it'll be part of the concept and the basis for the next generation. If it's made of carbon fiber or fiberglass, it happens in here. High-density foam glued together, machined to make tooling, and then they mold a bumper, an aerodynamic part, a wing. Think about it. You've designed something, but it doesn't exist. Someone needs to make it. Prefix handles that, and these guys are obviously getting the job done. Once upon a time, automotive designers were limited by the shape of the headlights. They were round, they were square, they were rectangular, but that's just about it. Well, nowadays, things are different. Thanks to LED and laser, if you can dream it, you can do it. But who's going to make the first one? And that's where Prefix comes in. We're in the lighting department, where they are hard at work. And as you can see, whatever the idea, they can make it the jewelry of the automobile.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, you look at the headlights and you think, those are the jewelry. I don't know, Jan. I'm looking at the inside of this vehicle and I am just absolutely floored with the lighting and just everything. And I think about what you guys had to do just to make these little individual pieces.
So attention to detail, right? It's attention to detail all the way around. And you know, it's funny because the world of concept cars, you know, when we were kids, you'd go to the auto shows and you'd see the George Jetson type of things that, you know, when we got
Super
to be
bizarre.
This age, they were going to float and fly and everything else, right? Well, today's world, we're so used to ordering pizza on our phone and having it in 10 minutes that
Right.
we want this instant gratification. So it's honestly kind of genius on Lincoln's part to design something that actually was so production intent. Because you see the ads on TV with Matthew McConaughey, it's almost this car, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Same color, same beautiful interior. Another genius move was the gull-wing door. You know, it's not that that's going to be in a production vehicle, but what a beautiful way, elegant way to show off this incredible interior.
I know when you look at the lighting though in here, that is very unique for when you think an SUV.
Right, I know it's, we have a software development team and they geek like crazy over this stuff, right? But to sit here and see the experience, just what you have on the screen and the quality and the level of detail that goes into all the chrome surrounds and billet aluminum work, it's unbelievable.
Well, these seats are really pretty cool. They're awesome looking, and I take a look at the detail and everything and the stitching, and it's just kind of amazing what you guys can do here. And for that, Joe has more.
The interior of that Navigator is just awesome. And while designed by the folks at Ford, it was made a reality by the folks at Prefix here in the interior trim shop, where their artisans select the leather, machine the foam, the headliner, the carpet, all done right here. And when you see the finished product, it is absolutely unbelievable. Hand stitching is a hallmark to any great interior, and the best sports cars have got the best steering wheels. That's how you feel the car. Well, Paul has been working here for over 25 years, and when this steering wheel is done and in the Visa project, it will have over 20 hours of work in it.
Well, I tell you what, even just watching how the interior stuff is made, Jan, is really pretty cool. And I know I like the idea of what you guys did in the back of this Navigator, but what really is impressive is this big gull wing here.
Know.
It's massive.
Well, I got to tell you, we're very fortunate to be able to work on something this beautiful, and it doesn't take just a couple people. I mean, we have 250 people plus here at Prefix, 4 different buildings, and there was a lot of people involved in this. And that gull wing door is an engineering marvel when you consider both sides have to go up, and the only mechanism being used to raise and lower that is in that very thin strip along the headliner.
Well, I tell you what, this is just so awesome and just one of the many cool things that they do here. And you know what? We're going to have more from Prefix here in Detroit, Michigan on Performance TV right after this.
Performance TV coming to you from Prefix Corporation.
Welcome back to Performance TV, continuing our visit here at Prefix, just outside of Detroit, Michigan. And Jan, we've seen all of the great stuff that you guys have been doing, or part of the stuff. We don't get behind those special little doors. No. But you guys have some really smart individuals here, not only building things, but really working with businesses and your sales staff. I mean, it's tremendous.
Well, and they've got to be. They've got to be everywhere, right? From the aviation shows to the automotive events, consumer electronic shows, big automotive event now. So we're very fortunate. We have a very aggressive, very enthusiastic team that loves this stuff. And that's how we get it done. You've got to love it.
This company got started quite a few years ago, and there's a pretty interesting backstory on how it all got started.
40 years ago, it took a lot of courage for a young mechanical engineer to leave corporate America, and it has all become this. Kim, how did this get started?
It's, I would like to say by accident, but it really wasn't by accident. I reflect on my life, and I was always entrepreneurial, whether it was mowing lawns or shoveling snow. And when I proposed to my supervisor that we innovate and create a cross-trained group of engineering people, I was told that isn't a very good idea. I decided to do it on my own, and I opened Prefix.
And now you've got so many projects going on here. Some we get to see, which is why we're so excited. Some we don't get to see. But bottom line, you've got a lot of different projects that involve automotive, involve jets, involve marketing. It's very interesting.
Many people have asked me, since I've been at it as long as I have and always owned it myself, and have asked what the secret is. And the secret is, first of all, never quitting. But more importantly, the secret is evolving and changing. And the industry changes, the world changes. And as the programmable vehicle model evolved and changed, we became aware that we couldn't hang our hat solely on that, and we evolved and changed and introduced new products. And that evolution is what you must have, especially as the world today continues to evolve and change as quickly as it does.
Kim, you've seen so much into the future. What do you see coming next?
We have been very blessed to be engaged in the electrification of automobiles, and that also ties out with the autonomy and autonomous vehicles. We continue to have a major push towards that technology, recognizing, however, that's only today, and tomorrow you don't know what the world will bring. And I'm fortunate to have a son who thinks like I think. I think another 5 to 7 years, and I'll be able to step aside and feel pretty good about how I left it.
Well, you've certainly left your mark. I appreciate you letting us behind the scenes here at Prefix.
Well, now we're talking about some really cool technology, Jan, in which you guys have just dove right into this project, but looks like a Corvette to me. Come on, tell me what's going on.
Oh, it would look like it, wouldn't it? Genovation Cars created a beast, and they set the world record for an all-electric car.
This is all electric car.
All electric.
Okay.
Now, this is their show vehicle. A number of people have seen this at shows like Barrett-Jackson, Consumer Electronics Show, and we're so proud to be part of this because a few years ago, if you'd have told me I'd get a little electric car, I wouldn't have been that excited.
Yeah, me either.
I'll drive this one any day.
What are we talking about here?
Oh,
What can this thing do?
Fast, fast, fast. We're looking at, they crushed the all-electric car mile-per-hour record with their first vehicle, and they're going to set the new one with their next, and that's what's being built right behind this one. We're talking about 220 plus miles an hour with an all-electric vehicle.
Wow, and you know this thing, it did start off as a Corvette, but you guys have completely gone through everything. It's not on the same chassis. I mean, it's not on the same chassis. The interior's different, everything.
Everything's been touched, every bolt. The brakes have been upgraded. Everything's been re-engineered. Aerodynamics have been changed.
Right.
You're talking about a complete concierge type vehicle. People can order the GXE and they can make it their own. I mean, really make it their own, even by naming the own color.
Oh, wow.
By sampling and picking out the sample leather pallets for the interior.
I mean, you just can't get much more cool than this. But you know what? We got to take a quick break. We'll have more Performance TV from Prefix in Detroit, Michigan, right after this.
Performance TV is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolt. For more info, go to stage8.com. Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. And by Borla, the world's most winning exhaust.
Welcome back to Performance TV, and yeah, now we have moved into a lot of performance during our visit at Prefix in Detroit, Michigan. And Jan, man, talk about a whole lot of horsepower around us.
A lot of horsepower.
Yeah, you guys aren't only just building things from the ground up, from nothing, but you're also doing a lot of performance stuff too.
Yeah, you're in our Auburn Hills facility. It's about 129,000 square feet, and it houses our performance division and our very large world-class paint center, where we paint very, very high-end cars. But the performance side, we do the 9-liter upgrades for Vipers. We've been involved with Viper and Hemis for many years, but now building other engines as well. But yeah, this is all about the muscle over here.
Oh, you know, you see the two Vipers. I mean, that really has been your thing for a very long time. Not that you don't do other cars like we see the GT over here.
Right, right. Well, you know, we painted every 5th generation Viper for Dodge in production. So very, very close to that community. Obviously, that's going to be something that will probably never go away for us. So we continue to work with those customers and enhancing the performance and adding some flash as well when they want repaint.
I want to see the performance, and now we're going to check in with Joe and find out just how much.
Here at Prefix, it's not all composites and interiors, it's horsepower and engines. I'm sure you've heard of Trans Am in the TA2 category. They build the engines for the Fords, Chevrolets, and the Dodges. Oh yeah, how cool is that? Oh, I got goosebumps. That's the sound we all love. And they're doing all the engines. I love it.
We have seen a lot of the great performance stuff that you guys are doing here, but this looks like a world-class paint facility. I mean, give me an idea of what all goes on.
Absolutely. It's all about low volume production. So when you have a company that needs 1,000 of something painted, they don't need 100,000, they need 1,000. We specialize in that. So very, very high quality paint finishes. There's no robotics in here. It's all done by hand.
Well, it's really very awesome, just like all of the great performance stuff that Joe has found.
We're in the engine shop here at Prefix. Oh yeah, it's not just composites, it is horsepower, like this Viper engine right here. They enhance it. It's one of their very popular things. But hey, what do you have out there? Are you a pro mod guy? Do you have a stock car? Do you want to make horsepower? They have the best in the business, and they can certainly build it to your specifications.
I'll tell you what, this has been a tremendous day, probably one of my favorite visits.
Oh, thank you.
You guys just do some incredible stuff. You cover it all.
Well, there's an awful lot to see. There's not enough time ever. Hopefully we can do it again.
Oh, I'd absolutely love that because this place is insane. But we started off today, you know, brought me in, we got a chance to take a little cruise in Medusa. What do you say, take you to dinner, and I get to drive. Cool? Got it?
I've heard you can handle it.
All right, sounds good to me. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for more Performance TV.